Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about an injunction that a federal judge in Massachusetts has just entered to put the brakes on an OMB plan to try to forcefully and arbitrarily winnow down the federal workforce. All right, let's talk about the plan because it is nasty, among other things, and really coercive. So, the Office of Management and Budget, they are the sort of big administrative money folks for the whole federal government, sent a email to a couple million federal employees. That's a big part of the entire workforce. A few cohorts were exempted. It had a little subject matter tag, fork in the road, which, besides being kind of nasty in and of itself, is an echo of the identical email with very similar purpose sent out by mini-me President Elon Musk to his employees, I think, at Tesla. But it is just really coercive. So it purports to be, hey, here's a good opportunity. You can basically go on administrative leave and be paid for like 7, 8 months. When you're doing it, you're not expected to work. That already is a violation of federal law. You cannot pay people for not working. It's the same as an absentee job. But the idea is it's the equivalent of a sort of payout, and then you leave the government. And before you even take it, you sign away your rights. 40,000 employees, all 2% of the federal workforce, already have done that, which is a kind of complication in the case. And why would they? Because it's so clear in the heavy-handed offer from the government that this might be the best they can hope for. They make it clear first that this offer is a one-time only, take it and take it fast. And they make it clear that there may not be, if you don't take this offer, you may get fired right away, and your job may not be there for you. So you always look for the lie at the core. And so the one way to conceptualize the lie here is it's completely bogus to call this a kind of an offer from the government and for people to take as they would some other buyouts, say, from a company, a university, even the government, when it really is a free offer. This is, we are coming at you. We are coming at you with a howitzer. We are mowing you down, and here's your final chance, you enemies of the deep state, to get a little bit more money from the federal government, and you don't have to work for it. We won't really, worry about that between, us and the taxpayers. Do whatever you want on it, and then you go away. So what it really is buying them out cheap. And it's a very dubious legality for 18 different reasons, including all the federal civil service protections. The government will try to say something like, we're just, giving them a nice offer, but given the elements of coercion to it, I don't think that's how it will play. And this morning, what happened is District Judge George O'Toole in Massachusetts, where an organization of government employees and many individuals and a whole big group of plaintiffs have sued, set the agency from implementing the deadline. The deadline was supposedly going to be today. He said, and froze it and put it on for a hearing in a few days of its lawfulness, to which, by the way, a government spokesman said, we're very grateful for the judge for giving an opportunity for our employees to a little bit of more time to accept this once in a lifetime kind of offer. That's how they're playing it. And by the way, this is the story of this week, really writ large. Some actual pushback and in the form of lawsuits, and therefore individual federal district court judges, many of them in D.C., where they already have reason to be not well disposed toward the Trump administration. It's the very judges who tried all the January 6 cases, only to have them all wiped out in a one fell swoop under the fiction, which they know to be a fiction, that these were some kinds of patriots and heroes. But so back in Massachusetts, the U.S. takes it on the chin again, and they are told, and as of now, there's no, in these various cases, no suggestion. This is something we'll have to think about down the line, but no suggestion of not complying with federal district court injunctions. And so they agree. They say, we're going to let them know the deadline is paused pending further legal proceedings. So don't worry about the 6th. But they're not withdrawing things for now. That's what they're going to try. And as I say, we have this issue of the 40,000 employees who have waived their rights, all kinds of rights, in order to accept this pretty paltry buyout. And will the department try to stand on those for the 40,000, saying, too late, you trusted us, you believed us, and now you're out? Presumably that gets tied up in the lawsuit. But what happens now, just, they give the general template, because this is happening now and for administration programs around the country. First, you go in and you say, here's my lawsuit. Please just do an immediate temporary injunction. Stop them because we're really going to get hurt here if you don't. Freeze the linebackers, and then bring it on to a hearing for a permanent injunction to make the whole thing not go into effect. So we've had that first, and now it's going to be that hearing, presumably in front of Judge O'Toole. This is just an aside, but as a former DOJ guy, it's a little heartbreaking. You see the legal arguments that DOJ folks are forced to make. It's now their legal duty to make on behalf of these really nasty programs, including often the saying, well, different people don't have standing. It's not an issue here. We have people who have been hurt, are being hurt, and that's going to happen. And I think, they will proceed to trial on the injunction starting next week, and you will hear the department try to present this as simply a voluntary, generous offer to all the federal workforce. As an aside, by the way, it's like so much of this imbecilic, right? What they really are hoping for is a green light for legality, and then just a complete arbitrary 500,000 people resigning. Think of who those 500,000 people are. Think of the institutional memory within the government. Think of how vital it is for doing the things that government does, that they stay in place. And think of how crappily they're being treated by Trump and company, basically, told they're not only dispensable but we want you out. Idiotic for a number of reasons, but the question is illegal. I think probably, but we'll see what O'Toole says, and it will go up then, First Circuit, potentially the Supreme Court, and you'll see some kind of effort on the part of the government, representing the Department of Justice, to make it seem like it's just an arm's length deal between an employer and employees that happen to be in the federal government. It would be fiction, like so much of their other stuff, Alice in Wonderland, to make it fly. We'll see what they do. But in the meantime, it's noteworthy. One more not so fast demand by a federal district court judge. And right now, it's the individual federal district court judges who are the pushback in the absence of the Senate, the absence of the House, some, really not great push from the media, and the American people themselves, who don't seem up in arms This is a good, the USAID closure, which we talked about in another YouTube. You've had some Democrats show up, a little bit of show of protest, but basically he has really been able in these 2-3 weeks to have his way. And now we find out whether his way is illegal, as it seems to me it is in many instances. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.